The July 22nd, 2019 meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Baroth. Here. Chairman Brew.
Here.
Ms. DeFlorio. Here. Mr. Flagler-Mitchell. Here. Mr. Howland is excused. Mr. Mafucci. Here. Mr. Wilt. Here. President Carbone. Here.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
Is there anyone present who has not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the June 26, 2019 minutes of the Environment and Public Works Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Mr. Clerk.
Referral 19-0176.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Legislator Wilt, seconded by Legislator DeFlorio. Is there any discussion? Legislator Wilt.
Yes, through the chair. Are there test basins separate basins, or are they picked out of a group of basins?
The chair, there are 20 basins total. We're picking 2 so that we can optimize our testing, and they're picked specifically so that we can optimize their performance.
Okay, and through the chair, is the timeline for what is the timeline for this project?
We expect to begin construction in the 4th quarter of this year, and it will take approximately 9 months.
9 months. Okay, thank you.
Legislator Baroth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the administration, just to follow up, for those 2 basins, I know they're going to use as models for the other 18, but what sort of improvements are we expecting?
Through the chair, the 2 primary improvements that we're doing is expanding, really increasing flexibility. And the physical improvements that we're making are to expand the areas of aeration, as well as modify the gates and the valves so that improves our hydraulic control within the tanks. So we'll have increased aeration flexibility as well as hydraulic flexibility.
Thank you. Through the chair of the administration, not to get too technical, but how do you intend to measure those in terms of determining success or degree of success?
Through the chair, we'll be measuring a number of different parameters of the tanks, measuring various concentrations, oxygen, the mixed liquor, which is a technical term for the sludge itself. Mm-hmm. It's nothing that one would drink, but it's a technical term. So there's a number of parameters, the nutrient levels within the tanks themselves. So the influent and really effluent of the tanks and how the tanks are behaving. Again, it's biology, so we'll also be looking at the microbiological populations within the tank and how well they're performing and thriving and what types of microbiology persist within the tanks.
Thank you for that. That was a great answer. I think I might have misspoke a little bit. So through the chair, just to clarify, those tests, I mean, I understand what you're talking about in terms of measuring oxygen and what creatures are available and what's going on there. I understand that. My question is then, that testing, is that something that's going to continue on continuously? Or is it something that's just being done for this 2 test cases and then it won't be done in the future and we'll just be going on assumption of data? I mean, you see what I'm saying through the chair?
Through the chair, yeah. The intent here is to really test and then optimize, and then that will inform our design for the balance of the 18, so that what we build for the balance of the 18 basins is what we need.
Okay, but then after those 18 are constructed, presumably through the chair, they're going to continue to be tested over time.
Through the chair, we would commission those tanks and then certainly monitor their performance, because at that point they've been fully implemented and they're processing the waste. So we would continue to monitor and their performance.
Okay, and then finally, through the chair, am I correct to believe that this would be, I'm not going to use this term, the final step, but one of the big final steps necessary to ensure that the new aeration system doesn't have failures that we had in the past?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Legislator Wilt.
So my question would be through the chair, do you monitor all the tanks, not just these 2?
Through the chair, yes, we have probes in all the tanks.
Okay, so through the chair, you do monitor them all at all times, correct?
The chair, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 19-0178.
Moved by Legislator DeFlorio, seconded by President Carbone. Legislator DeFlorio.
Yes, through the chair, has this application been utilized anywhere else, either locally or any other airports across the country?
Through the chair, this is a state capital aviation program through the Department of Aviation, which is a subset of the Department of Transportation in the state of New York. So it's an annual grant that they put out for a competition amongst the airports in New York State.
So through the chair, I guess what I'm asking is, has this guidance system been implemented anywhere else?
Through the chair, there are guidance systems in other airports. That is correct, but this would be new to Rochester, obviously.
Thank you.
Legislator Flager Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, will any airport or parking management staff be terminated once this system is available?
Through the chair, no.
All right, thank you. And also through the chair, when will this project begin?
Through the chair, we expect it to be operational in the winter of 2019, 2020.
All right, thank you, thank you. And two more questions. How will the county finance the proportion of the project that's not covered by the New York State grant?
Sure, through the chair, it's coming from Monroe County Airport Authority monies, and that's specific to the Airport Authority, so it is not coming out of the Monroe County budget.
Thank you, thank you. And just one last question. Did the planning board pass it on July 2nd?
Through the chair, yes, they did unanimously.
Thank you so much, through the chair.
Legislator Carbone.
Through the chair, this guidance system isn't new technology. It's been used at other airports.
Through the
It's just
chair.
new to us, through the chair.
Through the chair, it is new to us. There is not an existing system in the garage as it stands today. But this technology is very fluid at other airports or other indoor parking facilities. Probably one of the largest ones in the country is at Walt Disney World. So the parking garage at downtown Disney has one of the largest operational parking guidance systems in the country. But it is operational in other parking garages and other stadiums, arenas, complexes, airports, and so forth.
Okay, thank you.
Legislator Barfucci.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, and I may be here confused. You're not doing any financing then? You'll take the grant and use those monies and then use reserves?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Thank you very much.
And I have a comment for Director Moore, maybe a little bit of humor here, but only at the airport would a parking assistance system be called a parking garage guidance system.
Through the chair, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 19-0179.
Moved by President Carbone, seconded by Legislator Wilt. Is there any discussion? Legislator Baroth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to the administration, what is the actual cost of these new generators?
Through the chair, for the system that we may be looking at for the airport, we expect somewhere in the $900,000 to $1 million range.
Through the chair, administration, is that the total cost or per generator?
That would be through the chair, that would be the total cost.
Thank you. And through the chair of the administration, what would you anticipate the lifespan of the generators you're looking at to be?
Through the chair, I'm not an expert on that at this point, but I believe probably in the 10-year range, although I can confirm that.
I would appreciate it if you could, because I know the old generator system is 20-year range, and so 10 years is a little on the short side, I would think. But if you could check, I'd appreciate that through the chair. And then finally, through the chair of the administration, it's mentioned that the present system is currently being decommissioned. Am I correct to assume that that system won't be decommissioned entirely, i.e. won't be able to function until the new system's in place?
Through the chair, that is correct. We're in the process of doing that today.
Okay, so there would be no outage of backup through the chair?
Through the chair, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 19-0180.
Moved by Legislator Wilt, seconded by Legislator DeFlorio. Legislator Flagler Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, what is the timeline for this contract once it's signed?
Through the chair, we expect the design to take place as soon as we can get the contract in place. And moving forward, expect the facility to be up and running for Customs Border Protection in the January, February 2020 timeframe.
Thank you, thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, who will complete the actual construction?
Through the chair, we're not at that point yet. So we need to get the engineering and design and architecture work done first and then put it out to bid.
All right, thank you. And through you to the administration, will MWBE contractors be looked at for the actual construction?
Through the chair, absolutely, we adhere to all Monroe County purchasing policies, guidelines, and procedures.
Thank you so much. And upon completion, where in the terminal would a custom be located? Through you, Mr. Chairman.
Through the chair, this new site would be in a old warehouse building. It's this old Sky Chef building, and Sky Chef used to actually help serve food on airplanes when you could get food on airplanes. And so this is the new site of the Customs Border Protection offices.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Item carries. That concludes our items. Are there any other matters to come before the committee? There being no other matters, the July 22nd, 2019 meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee will be held on Monday, August 26, 2019 at 5:45 p.m.